Hi, everyone, and welcome to Rise of the Runelords in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm your host with the most, your GM, Jared, and today I will be joined by all these wonderful, my cast members, which I love hanging out with every Sunday, and technically it's Sunday, right? Everywhere. It hasn't changed yet. And we will be playing Rise of the Runelords. Now, normally this is in Pathfinder 1st Edition, but we are slowly converting it to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which is their newest format. Now, to tell you about who they will be playing and what's going on with them, I will throw it over to the one, the only, the amazing Dawn. How you doing this morning, Dawn?
I'm doing good. And I play Nexon, who's the Stitch Witch of the group.
I'm Becca Godsey. I play Rain, the Alceste, our moose character.
I'm Colin, and I play Kaz, the halfling bone oracle. There we go. I remembered what I played. It's me.
And hi, my name's Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. I play both Malvolo, the inventor, and his puppet companion, Collodi. Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. And now we love having you guys hang out with us, whatever time slot you're in. And we love having you guys watch us, but we also dislike not having you guys be involved in our campaign. And there are a number of ways you can get yourselves involved. But to tell you about how that's done and what ways you can do that, I'm going to throw it back over to Michael because this is his place and this is his channel and he knows it better than I do. So, Michael?
All right, so yeah, basically, as Jared said, we do not like our audience members feeling like they can't interact with this. This is a live show, and there's a reason why you guys are here. Now, if you want to influence the course of the game, not only can you write stuff in chat, because we have plenty of eyes on the chat, but in addition to that, you can donate to the stream to influence the course of the game. For $5, you can reward a hero point to one of the players of your choice. Or if you're feeling particularly malicious, you can give Jared a jinx point. These points are used to petition the GM for things, afford us rerolls of failed checks, or, of course, to try and save our measly lives. Everyone does start with one, but we do get a few extra, and trust me, they are definitely needed from time to time. For $10, we get awarded a sin boon of choice, where of the 7 deadly sins, each sin is tied to a school of magic, and you will bestow upon a player of your choice a sin boon that will grant them access to a random ability or spell-like supernatural power that is tied to their sin. For $20, you can give them a natural 20, because of course, why bother rolling dice when we can just win at stuff? Of course, you can give them to Jared too, if you must. And of course, for the grand old prize of $50, you can grant a mythic boon to the campaign, which could come in the form of a magic item, a special gift, or you could even coerce with Jared to get something, kind of awesome and cool happening. I don't know, maybe. It's a very, very powerful thing, so it will, of course, change the flow of the game, no matter what we end up using. So, yeah. And of course, guys, we do like to keep the incentive rolling by adding in, as you can see below, what is called a boss bar. When that boss bar fills up, if we are in an encounter, the encounter gets phenomenally harder. But of course, at the end of that difficulty comes extra rewards. Alternatively, if we are not in a battle, something big, something large, and something scary suddenly emerges in order to throw our cast into disarray. These are the rewards, these are the things, and you are all encouraged to explore them to their fullest capacity. In fact, we actually had the boss bar fill up yesterday during a show, and it summoned a Draco-Lich from the heart of an acid lake that then chased our heroes through a volcano. To give you an idea of what kind of nonsense happens. Yeah, we're having the no Draco-Liches, please, from the chat from yesterday. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So,
man.
Just to kind of set the mood of what that bar actually means. There you go.
Hard pass.
Hard pass, yeah.
And now Jared's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the bestiary right now.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much, Michael. And thank you to all of our audience who will be helping me get to that Draco Lich. Thank you very much. Now, I want to just do a quick recap for everyone joining us who maybe missed out, came in late last week and was like, wait, what's going on? So, quick recap. Our heroes of Sandpoint traveled up to the farms. They kind of got attacked by some evil ghouls. There was a ghoul that had kind of like a weird music box jammed in its throat. And every so often it would give off a creaky, squeaky Rain, kept saying Rain's name. Then all the ghouls decided to dance to a song that they could not hear. Cassandra snuck in by being invisible and as she was reaching for the lovely music box that she was able to pry out, I got to use my Jinx point, and I appreciate that. So I made her fail, which initiated combat. Combat happened. It was pretty epic. If you did not see it, it was one of my most favorite combat encounters I've gotten to play. There was a lot of fire. I'm always a fan of fire. The party was able to defeat the ghouls, save the two living people, the father and son dynamic duo, and they were heading back to town to drop the two survivors off. On their way back to town, they met an old friend, blah, 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 blah. Yep, that's who we got to meet. Sorry, Shalelu. It's early here. It's early. And Shalelu wanted to talk to the party. She saw the fire, what was going on with that. And basically they said, hey, there was an issue over there. Shalelu said, hey, cool, you guys took care of it. I trust you. Shalelu then took the survivors back to town and was going to check the fire back out to make sure it didn't spread and kind of burn everything else down. The party, knowing that there was a person who was attacked by ghouls, and now Cassandra knowing for a fact these are ghouls, and ghouls have something called ghoul fever, which causes people to turn into ghouls. Cassandra knows that. They know that there was a survivor of a ghoul attack that was taken to Habe's sanatorium. They got to Habe's sanatorium. They met the two Tiefling brothers, which our name is Gurnak and Gortis. Gortis is shorter, skinnier, with those thick glasses, and Gurnak chews and smokes a heavy smelling musky tobacco. The party showed up and was like, hey, we need to talk to Habe, and we need to quickly figure out like where this person is. Cassandra was like, I'm just gonna see if there are ghosts here. The very last thing, she was like, I just want to see if there are ghosts. Like, maybe like this is a sanatorium, there's a possibility maybe the guy is turned, maybe he's dead. I'm just gonna use my ability to see ghosts. She saw something she wasn't ready for. Her eyes turned black, but had sparks of light motes coming from them, and she passed out. And that's kind of where we're picking up today, with Cassandra just kind of tumbling to the floor with this overwhelming presence that kind of just knocked her out. So Rain, Marvolo, Nexen, as you're waiting for the two Tiefling brothers to bring back Habe, the doctor who runs the sanatorium, Cassandra turned to the group and was like, hey, I'm going to use my powers to check everything out to make sure everything is copacetic. And she collapses to the floor without a word to the party. Cassandra, you awaken in a different world. Not so much as like a different, how can I say this? You're in a different plane of existence. Your mind has traveled and you're now reaching into the boneyard. This is not so much your fault as it is the fault of the sanatorium. Now, as you kind of come to your feet, you look up and you see this massive moon in the sky, and has an evil face. Think like Majora's Mask, that like evil moon face. That is actually something in the boneyard. Off into the distance, you could see the spire, Phasma's spire, where she stands judging the souls of the dearly departed. and you look around and it's gray. Everything is gray monotone colored. You're standing in a field, and there are sparrows flying every which way, and you know these are psychopomps. Psychopomps? I always never pronounce that word. Psychopomps, yeah. You know those to be psychopomps, ferrying souls to the spire. Standing before you is a person. They're shimmering. They're more of a shade than they are a physical entity. They turn to you, and there's now a recognition. Like, they seem to recognize you as not a person of the dead, but more of a person of the living. And their face kind of turns, and as they were shadows, the shadows kind of change and morph to finally a feature, almost male, very smooth feature. It kind of looks like what a person would imagine themselves, maybe like very smooth. The brow ridge is very flat. There's no 3 dimensions to this. It's more or less like you're looking at a 2-dimensional image trying to be 3-dimensional. And the eyes finally form and come to life, and you could see intelligence behind there. There's no mouth. This is just kind of a vague, featureless, there's a nose, and where the mouth would be, there isn't a mouth. It's flat, blank. Again, all gray. Just looks down at you and tilts its head, kind of puzzling.
Can I do stuff? Can I talk? Do I feel like this is not the bathroom? And I'm gonna close my eyes. Should I go back?
As you close your eyes and you say, "This is not the bathroom," and you're trying to kind of jerk yourself back, trying to wake up from a dream. You could feel that there's something holding you here. And you now feel a coldness kind of come onto your shoulder. And it feels like a hand just touching your shoulder. Not like, pressing down or gripping you. It's just as if someone reached over and touched your shoulder.
Okay. I'm gonna open my one eye near the hand. What's touching me?
As you open your eyes, this formless feature, this formless entity has reached out and is kind of touching your shoulder. And it seems, again, it's all made out of shadow. So it's shadow, you could tell, is again making a form of a humanoid hand, but the shadows kind of splinter off and dissipate as if candles flicker. And then as you open and look at it, it kind of reels back away from you, shaken, and it cowers a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna say, don't be afraid. We don't want to both be afraid. I'm also afraid.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to have gotten here by mistake. And I'm gonna whisper, and I'm like, I'm alive. I'm not supposed to be here. So if you could show me the exit, and then I'll see you in hopefully a long time. Not for you. You're nice, but for me.
As you say all of that, the entity in front of you tilts its head, and you see a mouth start to form. It's a small slit across, and it doesn't really open its mouth. as a voice now kind of just, you hear a voice coming, you're assuming is from this entity. It sounds as if someone yelling down a long hallway. Hi, my name, I forget my name. The exit. You could take me home, right?
Okay, so obviously, Carla is asking now. I cannot take this thing with me. Hey,
No,
like that would be a very bad thing.
As a bone oracle, you are connected to the afterlife. The different deities of the afterlife do transfer their powers through you. No, I don't think. I mean, it's up to Carla. That's deeper into the necromancy of like kind of skewing life and death. You don't know how to get them home, like how to steal them, but you also do know the gods don't like it when you steal souls. That's kind of on like the end side of, yeah. And Rain might not be too happy.
I was gonna say Rain won't like it if I'm just like,
Rain,
this is my friend.
Yeah, this is my ghost friend, Casper.
Casper, guys.
Then it just don't look at the fact that he's not 3-dimensional. That's fine.
No. Yeah.
Just ignore that.
We'll just bring back a piece of paper and shake it for us.
I'm going to say to him, I think you might be where you need to be, but if you have a message you'd like me to take back with me, I can get your message home. Were you in Habe's asylum?
And with that, you can now see the eyes kind of bulge with fear. They took me there. Yes, I was there. I was brought there. They took me there. They said they would help.
And
Is this part of the treatments?
oh snap, no. Okay. Do I have anything to... Okay. Those ravens, they're supposed to take the souls, right?
Yes. They usually... Oh, is that Cerberus here? They usually are... They do ferry the souls, more or less, to the spire, Phasma's castle, where she judges the souls, and basic knowledge of Phasma, right? Just anyone knows this. She's not evil. She's neutral for everything. She's just a judge. She's just like, you go that way, you go that way, you go that way, you go that way. So that's kind of the end game. You go to her thing, get judged, go to the afterlife.
Okay. I'm going to say, what were you getting treated for?
I don't know. I was there for so long.
What was the last thing you remember before waking up here?
The last thing I remember was the man. He put a crystal on my head, said the pain would go away.
Okay, I have a question, sorry. Is he like the only shade I can see? Like the other souls are, happily being ferried by the psychopomps?
As you look around, you could see other entities kind of wandering. Honestly, they're just wandering. There are other like those two-dimensional figures kind of standing. Some of them are just standing there. Some of them are wandering these fields. Remember, everything's just shades of gray. There's no sunlight in this area. Some of them kind of walk forward, stop, and then turn around, and then walk the other way and stop, and then turn around. So they seem to be lost, more or less. Can you give me a? So this is gonna be weird.
I'm not smart enough for this.
Give me a you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Give me a perception check, right? So just roll your perception. This is more like an insight check. So there's no real insight. Hey, natural 20.
Thank you, dice, for saving me.
That's very lucky. So you notice that these spirits in this area seem to be walking and stopping, and some of them seem to be walking in a continual pattern. And then your head, you're like, that's weird. Like they're stopping and then walking in a continual pattern, and you're like, wait a second, and you kind of start to put two and two together. They're walking like boxes, so it would be like if they were in a room. So you might be looking at them like spirits trapped in the sanatorium, and they're still walking the halls.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to hug the one I was talking to, and I'm going to say, we'll get you to where you need to go, and then I'm going to let him go and say, thank you, and then I'm going to, if I figure it's like they're in the layout of the asylum, and I'm going to sort of stand where I think my body is.
Okay.
and then I'm going to full blown, there's no place like home. and I don't know, reverse spirit sense?
Sure. So we transition back to the group in the sanatorium. Rain, Nexon, Morvolo, you see Cassandra just drop like a ton of bricks, just blonk onto the floor. Her body isn't moving.
Can I rush? At least, can I try to catch her head as she falls on that end? I just want her to just come up with a bruise or something.
So as she's collapsing, Rain, you kind of jump to it. Your natural instincts kind of take over, and you catch her. You do the parent grab, where it's the single hand grabbing the t-shirt, the chest shirt, and you're just so the body falls lifelessly. The hands, clap onto the wooden floor, but you've stopped her from smashing her head into the ground.
Okay, good. Nobody wants to come back with a terrible headache.
Yeah. As you kind of pull her up, her head kind of, does the wobbliness, and you study her head, and you see her eyes are black. There are specks of light coming from them, and it's like someone's shining a flashlight through a black piece of paper that they've poked holes into. So there is light coming, actual light coming from her eyes.
I'm going to kind of cradle her head a little bit. Does anybody know what's going on?
Malvola will move over and try to make a medicine check. Are you okay? Is maybe the heat? I'm just going to, I don't know. I'll examine
the
it.
Heat?
Yeah,
that's your best guess? The heat?
Look.
She's going to kind of pat her forehead. She doesn't feel hot. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, well, while he's doing that, I want to kind of like get a closer look at her eyes and see if like is this something I've heard of happening before?
Sure. So as you open her eyes like wider, there is still light coming from there. As you're looking at the body, trying to like figure out what's going on, you realize her pockets are glowing. And you like,
I will reach into those
yeah,
pockets.
you like reach in like very carefully because it's your friend. And you're not like, I'm just gonna mug her. 5 gold pieces.
I mean,
Yeah.
she collapsed
An
and now her
opportunity.
pockets are glowing.
Yeah. So reaching in, you pull out, and these are the quartz stones you found way before. And they too are glowing. The quartz stones you found in the crypt when you fought the undead that were risen.
Oh God. Okay.
And yeah. That's the long throwback. So you find them, they too are glowing. The same kind of ambient light coming from her eyes. And now holding them up, the party, Rain, Marvolo, you can see that they too are also glowing, that weird ambient light.
That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign at all. Okay. Well, I don't know what any of this means, but I know.
Where are the two attendants?
They had just left to go get Habe. You spoke to them through that the kind of, it's like a weird, like when you go to a hospital and you see the nurses station, they have a very similar station there, except there are metal bars on it. And you spoke to them, and originally they left to go get Habe, and they have been gone maybe 5 minutes at this point.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to shake Cassandra. Whatever this is, that can't be good. When those things are glowing, we're not gonna find friends here.
Can I make like a occult or religion check to see about these glowing stones and eyes?
Sure.
Which would you?
This is both woodwork, so
Okay.
it's now if you have an additional +1 or +1 on either side, it's up to you. Yeah, so not bad. You know that they're definitely connected, right? Like that's clearly obvious. But what you're also getting from them is, how can I say, they're used in rituals, right? So usually when kind of summoning the dead or necromantic rituals, these are the things that are used. They're focal points. While they are, how can I say this? There's definitely necromancy happening in here somewhere. And clearly the ritual is happening and continually happening to keep something or someone alive. The question is, how, in the mythology, you're never 100% sure. You're never like 100% sure with destroying something or letting it run its course. That's kind of where your mind's at right now. Should we smash them? And that might work. Or if we leave them, she might stay where she is. So it's like, do I smash it? Some legends say, you have to stop the ritual by smashing it. Some say you have to let the ritual run its course.
Well, I think these are maybe responsible. We could either like let it, maybe wait a few minutes and see if Cass comes back, or try breaking them. But I kind of feel like if we break them and it needs to run its course, that's going to be awful bad.
Right. We can't undo breaking them.
Kalodi speaks up and says, have we tried CPR? I mean, just saying, I don't have lungs, so I can't really do it, but I mean, kiss of life and all that, eh?
Does she need that? Can I feel like her pulse and everything? Like, does she just seem unconscious with the glowing eye thingy? that's not a normal thing. But that besides that part, does she just seem like she's unconscious?
She feels she is now cold, very cold, and her breathing is shallow. So it's very like shallow breaths. She might be asleep, might be dying. You're not sure. Marvolo can check her pulse, and her pulse is slowing.
With it slowing, Malvola will turn to Nexon. I don't think we can afford to let whatever is happening run its course. I think we should break them.
Let me try something, and if my eyes go all star and blacky, yeah, go ahead and break them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to cast Detect Magic and see if there's any other kind of magic going on.
So as you pulse your Detect Magic, normally you get like the pings, right? Like ding, this is magic, ding, this is magic. You pulse and you have a migraine. Like it feels like someone hit you in the head with a bat. And it's necromancy. This whole place is just, if there was ever a point in time you were like, yeah, there's necromancy, this is it. It's not coming from anything directly. It seems to just be emanating from the floor.
Ow. There's a lot of necromancy all over the place.
Wait, there's a whole lot of necromancy going around here, and then when we arrived, our friend Cassandra fell down. Look, I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I think the writing's on the wall here. And, you know, I just gotta ask myself, what would the big fella do if he were here?
The big fella?
Yeah, Crut, what would he do? He wouldn't sit here wondering what's to do and using all his intellectualities and all that. No, he'd start breaking down doors and cracking skulls until he got some answers.
Well, I hear what you're saying. I just don't want to leave her. Can I pull her like closer to my body? Like I'm trying to do like body warmth sharing. Like I'm very concerned that she's getting colder throughout all of this.
Oh, maybe I can do something about that. Hang on. Claudie's gonna open up and pick up Cass and unscrew his head.
Mm-hmm.
Kalodi body.
Is it actually warm?
I'm warmer.
Does Kalodi have body warmth?
You could. Yeah, I mean, he's got mechanical moving parts. I mean, imagine.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's warm. He's warmer than being out in the night air. So Kalodi's head is now with Malvolo, and his puppet body has an opening where Cass's head is kind of propped up. So it looks like Cass's head on Kalodi's body as the puppet sort of.
I love that. I feel like that's kit bashing. When you take models and just kind of smash them together. I love that.
Yeah.
Kalodi actually is fairly warm on the inside. He does have explosives, and they are more or less like they're more or less chemicals. So it's not you can hear like the fans turning and stuff like that. So Nexon, as you reach out with your detect magic and you're like, yeah, there's necromancy and stuff like that, you start to hear voices. It sounds like Cassandra is talking to someone. You can't hear the other voice, but you could slightly hear whispers of Cassandra.
Cass is talking to somebody?
Somebody? What is she saying?
I can't really hear it.
This is not the bathroom.
Bless you.
Her lips aren't moving. Is it where she's at?
Maybe her spirit's like stuck.
Like stuck inside a glowing gem.
Um. Uh. mm, 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 hmm. I'm gonna try see if I can restore her. So yeah, Nexon's gonna start pulling out some strings that have all these little charms attached to them and start kind of like wrapping them around Cassandra, and she's gonna cast restoration.
Oh, nice.
Yay, I prepared this. And see if that works.
Sure. Casting as you begin to cast restoration and activate the charms from the different strings, Rain, you're holding you were holding, but you're like right there. Marvolo, you're all on top of this. Everyone's on top of this. And as the energies of restoration come through, you could see the charms and everything light up around Cassandra's body. Well, her head at this point starts to glow, and the rocks, the quartz crystals you have, start to shake and shimmer. And Cassandra, you kind of come to very quickly. Your eyes kind of turn back, and you're now back with everyone.
Much taller.
Much taller. You're on like eye level with Rain at this point.
Big old moose eyes are the first thing you see.
You're awake. Can I just before I go from the other one, can I just do a religion check? To glean lore very quickly.
Sure.
Skills. Can I do a religion check is the question. Yeah.
Okay. So what are you trying to assess with this check? Like to figure out where you are, why this is like this.
Yeah, so I think I want to figure out if basically like if they came here through that magic, or they died and then they woke up here and they were doing they were actually trying to help these people and then they did just die, or was it malicious?
You got it. So as you're trying to figure out the type of magic, right? So it's I guess quick understanding, in Pathfinder 2nd edition, there are 4 schools of magic, and we actually have multiple schools right now. So we have Rain, who is primal, and we have Cass, who is divine, and I believe Nexon is also divine, right? But witches can kind of you're a cult. You're a cult, yes. And we also have Arcana, right? So those are the schools of magic. You're looking to see if this is more either a cult or religion. Like, was this done by a deity? Was that same energies tapped, or was it? What kind of brought this here? This is definitely a cult. It's not a cult, sorry, Arcana. This was done through spell and ritual, so it does border occult and Arcana. So they are bound here, more or less. These spirits are not free. And you could tell that just by looking at the fact that they're stuck walking the same patterns over and over and over again. Whether or not they're in pain, they didn't seem to be in pain. This ghost didn't seem to be like screaming, but also it doesn't have its memory. So where that is neither here nor there. As Cassandra is kind of coming, getting pulled through, you could see the spirit, that specter that was in this, that was with you. And as you're getting pulled through, it says, "Wait, I remember. My name is," and you kind of start to awaken in this new body of yours. You see these big old moose eyes staring at you, and it's your friend, Rain.
I'm gonna sort of kick my legs and my arms, which I assume is in Kalodi's body, like when I get a fright, when I wake up and I'm very tall. Like
Kalodi starts just gyrating. Whoa! Hey! Don't damage the merchandise. No, seriously, there is so much explosive in there. I'll let you out. Here, hang on.
Thank you.
Are you okay? We were so worried. All of a sudden, you just collapsed on the floor. We didn't know what was going on. The crystal started glowing. Nexon said you were talking to someone, but your lips weren't moving and your body got incredibly cold, which is why we put you in Kalodi for safekeeping and to keep you a little bit warmer. But we don't know what happened to you.
And I'm gonna check are the dudes coming back.
They have not come into the area yet.
Are the crystals still glowing?
The crystals are still glowing, but now aren't as bright.
I'm gonna say we should hide those. So, and I'm gonna whisper. I did not the smartest thing I've ever done. I just, I wanted to sense if there were any spirits here, maybe if the ghoul had already got out. And obviously there's a lot happening here and it overtook me. Basically, I think the asylum is a battery for, is it a like I don't know how to explain battery in a power source. There we go. Battery is a power source for, I don't know if it's the two we met or if it's Habes, but the necromancer there's a very strong necromancer here, and I think he's keeping the spirits as a continuous power source. We need to let them go. And then I'm gonna turn to Rain and I'm gonna say, this is really, really bad necromancy. This is not what it's for. Whisper.
Yeah. I mean, this whole area is just like mind with necromancy.
As you are all talking, Marvolo, you hear what sounds like the hooven steps of Rain, which because she has a little hoof, and they're now coming from the hallway, a hallway that you're kind of standing near, and turning around the corner again is one of those tiefling brothers, and they are followed by a man in red robes and medical equipment all over their body. And turning the corner, you can hear the Gortys say, excuse me, this is Dr. Habe. And Dr. Habe steps into the room, looking at the group, says, yes, how may I help everyone?
I'm just going to look daggers.
We're under the assumption that somebody was brought here, and we, as representatives of the sheriff, we should have a right to be able to go back and investigate for the safety of the people.
I believe Sheriff Baylor? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And who are you looking for specifically?
There was an individual who was brought here. Their name wasn't given to us. They were a witness to a particular event that happened, and he brought him here recently. But certainly we wouldn't mind going through and checking to make sure that nothing has happened to any of the patients, because there seems to be something going around. Think of it as a wellness check.
Wellness check. Okay, yes.
For everyone here at the asylum.
And you're all part of the constabulary, right? Everyone here
Yeah.
has their badge and is accessible to come in. Now, it does seem like a lot to have many people come in. So why don't I just take two folk for now? And I
Actually
could.
preferable because we each have different skills to be able to detect different things. So it's important that we stay together. We'll just simply walk in a straight line to help minimize the effect. How about that? We'll be extra quiet to make sure we're not disturbing anything, but it is important we're staying together.
Okay. Now, you do know it's fairly late into the evening, so many of my patients are sleeping and resting. I do need you all to be very careful. Now, before we come in, there is some ground rules I have to establish with everyone. The basement is off limits. There was a fire, and it is not accessible. It is very dangerous to everyone. So when you're walking through, please be careful not to go into the basement. It is just a mess down there. Secondly, the second floor is our violent. They are extremely violent on the second floor. Many of them are heavily medicated, and that is for their safety as well as ours. My two assistants here, Gurnak and Gortis, are to be respected as much as I am respected. If they say something, please follow exactly what they are telling you, as it is for your safety as well as their safety. I'm going to request everyone leave any kind of weaponry here at the front, because obviously we do not want any of our patients to be able to get them. They can hurt themselves, and that is the worst case scenario. We do not want them hurting themselves.
What might work easier instead of just leaving them out here unattended is perhaps we might lock them away. Fortunately, we brought our own chest. She's going to tap on Kalodi a little bit. He's perfect for hiding things, and we can lock it so that way it isn't possible for anyone to get into it. And then, of course, if anyone does get out, they're not going to find weapons up at the front.
Fair
Kalodi,
enough.
would you be okay with that?
Yeah, no, that sounds perfectly fine. I'm kind of imagining while Rain's talking about how secure Kalodi is, after Cassandra was like kicking around inside him, the hinge on his door just sort of comes loose a little and he slams it shut. And he's doing that a couple of times, like in the background, like, just damn it, the latch just won't give. Just have out.
Well, I also have great news, and this is DM Jared talking and not Habe. A friend of ours, Secondhand Samurai, has donated a gluttony and lust sin boon to Cassandra. So thank you very much for that. That's pretty awesome. That is so amazing. You now have both of those. So let's use those when they're necessary.
Preferably
like
not
when-
against us. Just saying, putting that out there.
Yeah.
Look,
Like when the Necro Dragon comes.
Oh man.
I mean,
Malvolo is going to kind of whisper to Rain. Are you sure that playing ball with these people is the wisest thing? I'm having very bad feelings about everything here.
I understand. We just need to at least get through the door and figure out what we can. Ask questions.
Yeah, Malvolo will nod. I hope you understand that that our work requires us to, of course, maintain a certain level of privacy as we speak with Mr. Sorry, did we get the name of the bodyguard?
Gurnak and Gortis.
No. The guy who witnessed the murder. The guy
Oh.
we're here to speak with.
Grist.
So they're bodyguards. No, graced. Okay. I hope you understand that we will require a certain level of privacy for Mr. Graced. It is, regardless of his current treatments, necessary that we observe his privacy as his right as a citizen of Aresia.
So, as you say all that to Mr. Habe, Habe looks at you and kind of nods and he says, very well. Now, if you would all please follow me, leave your stuff in the walking lockbox.
Oh, I did have a quick question before we go.
Mhm.
I was kind of curious. I'll be honest, I've not been here to the asylum before. How did the three of you come to be here? We don't often
Well,
see you down in the city.
well, as you know, Magnamar has its problems. I find out here in the countryside, my clients can rest and recuperate and focus on healing themselves mentally. I myself am a man of science. I think magic has severely hampered our society as a whole. We rely on it too much of a crutch. I think science is the way to cure everything, and those who use magic are just putting a bandage on larger problems.
Oh,
Do
interesting.
I get a sense that he's being truthful about that?
You can roll insight into what he is saying.
There is no inside check.
Sorry, perception would be your insight check. I apologize for that. Perception kind of covers a lot of things.
I think this man is trustworthy, implicitly. He is a doctor. Yeah. Clearly, not just anyone can get a medical degree.
Some of the things he says does ring true to you, Marvolo. But additionally, Nexon, you get the feeling that he is definitely keeping something away from the group. He is more or less trying to assert it seems like a lot of pomp and circumstance for just a wellness check.
I'm gonna try and like get so I'm standing behind Rain and like catch Cassandra's eye and kind of be like,
yeah, I didn't even roll inside. I'm just like straight up, this guy is the worst.
Clearly the worst.
This guy.
The actual worst.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna visually with my eyeballs agree with Nixon.
Okay. I put my my daggers inside Kalodi.
Yeah. So basically just store whatever weapons you have visible on yourself. You know, obviously he's not gonna be like, please put your spider in Kalodi or your squirrel. That stuff that is a bit silly.
I'm gonna keep my rod of wonder and pretend it's a walking stick. I'm not putting that in the
okay.
You wouldn't deny me my walking stick. You wouldn't deny me my walking stick, would you?
My walking stick.
All right. Sure. Yeah, we will follow in suit. I think I'll have Kalodi walking like at the very, very back of the group, and I'll tell Kalodi that any door that ends up locked, just to kind of let me know, like just so I can count how many barriers there are between us and, you know, getting out alive.
And getting out alive. Nice. So you make your way, firstly, you make your way into the first set of doors down the hallway. You go into a room. It's the workers' entrance. This room contains, you know, raincoats, and other stuff that people would wear outside. They kind of put everything up in here. There's a door. It's opened. As you enter, Gortys opens it. Habe kind of comes in, and the rest of the group goes into that it's a small room. Gurnak opens a secondary door. So there's a door that opens into the small room and a door that exits the small room. It's not the same door. As everyone enters into this larger chamber, the both doors are locked as you kind of come in to this larger chamber. You are now, this area serves as a combination kitchen and sewing room. This is more or less like kind of the waiting room that they've kind of turned. There are 3 big tables in here. This is more or less where guests would come to speak with patients. If there were any guests, this would be where patients would come for, relaxation time. And where they even eat. Everyone kind of just eats here. There's food particles on the floor, on the walls. There are chairs strewn about here. And Mr. Habe looks at the group and says, please have a seat at one of the tables. I will go with Gurnak, and we will go get Grayest, is it?
Chris?
Graced.
Grist. Yes. I will go fetch Grist and lead him here.
Jared, can I, as we're walking, walking slightly slower because I'm trying to see if I can be like, okay, and then there were people over here. I'm trying to see if I can correlate what I saw
line things
with.
up.
Yeah.
So as you line things up in your head, in your mind's eye, and in this area, you kind of make your way here into this room, and you realize this is the room you saw a lot of people kind of marching around and doing the most activity. This was kind of the room where you saw the most shades, right? We'll call them shades, or they would just walk around. Some of them would stop at something and then kind of turn and then walk. As you're in this room, you do see a set of doors, two large set of doors, and Habe kind of opens the first set of doors and goes upstairs to the second floor, which and there's another set of doors further down that seem to be locked, and Gortys is standing specifically in front of those doors. And Habe and Gurnak have ascended the stairs, locking the doors behind them. So you could see that they are definitely going to get someone else.
I'm going to whisper to the group, and I'm going to say, when I saw a lot of the spirits were trapped, almost as if they were trapped in their rooms, walking in circles, and this is sort of the space. So I'm not sure if it's upstairs or if that basement is where they performed. It's almost ritualized, and I don't believe the fire story for a moment. We know fire. And I'm going to look, and I said, if that's the staircase, that staircase doesn't look burnt at all.
Look, I don't know about you, but I think that Dr. Habe has been quite amiable. I trust him. I think he's speaking well. But if it will put you at ease, it couldn't possibly hurt to inspect the damage and see if they'll let us pass.
We could.
I definitely got the impression that he was keeping something from us.
I'm going to trust your instinct. This doesn't seem right. And based upon what you said about the spirits and the necromancy, this doesn't feel right. We have to help those poor spirits. Just to be wandering eternally within these spaces, I don't like it.
Well, I mean, the last thing we want is to, of course, upset our host if we haven't, got anything to prove it. All I'm suggesting is that if we do investigate below, we do it politely. Perhaps Mr. I don't know which one this is. Gortys?
Sorry, this is Gortys. Yeah, Gortys is the one with the glasses. Sorry,
yeah.
Gortys
perhaps
is...
Mr. Gortys will simply allow us to take a look at things, just to help put our mind at ease.
In either case, you do make a point that we probably need evidence of some sort, especially with Volo having his city reputation not being great.
That is not my fault.
I know it's not your
Well,
fault, but we
Yep.
kind of need to make sure.
Okay.
our reputation as well.
Yeah. Yes. So we'll
Let-
we'll play it safe and kindly until we
I
until we
agree.
know something else.
All right. Let me try speaking with him. I'll walk up to Gortys.
Mhm.
Good evening.
Sir?
Now I know this is going to sound a little peculiar, but it just so happens that our friends and I, we are investigating the wellness of course, the person who is being housed in your lovely asylum. We think that perhaps maybe the basement after the fire that Mr. Habe had suggested is maybe worth some investigation, just for health and safety issues. I hope you understand.
Dr. Habe says no one's allowed down.
Yes, but you understand that Dr. Habe doesn't speak on behalf of the guards. We do, of course, regret any inconvenience, but I'm afraid we're going to need to insist that we have a look downstairs. We'd much rather, of course, do it with your, of course, very expertise supervision, because we would hardly want a situation where any of us hurt ourselves on any dilapidated stairs or burnt awnings.
I'm sorry, I cannot let you down. It's for your safety as well as the patients and everyone in the sanatorium. I understand your concern. I believe if you were to maybe have the sheriff come down, and that would be the best way to have this kind of opened up.
Collodi is going to charge at Gortys and drop kick him in the head, smacking him against the wall as he goes, "Puppet kick!"
Okay.
And Malvola goes, "Collodi, what are you doing?"
Nexon's gonna use that opportunity to just kind of like lean against the wall and have Nyx pop out and try and like slide under the crack of the door in the confusion.
Kabam!
14 to puppet kick. So we're actually doing this, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that hits. It does damage. To said person. Please, at this point, so Collodi kind of slams into Gortys. Gortys kind of hits the wall, confused. Actually, that might have been a critical hit because that's a sneak attack, I guess.
Nice.
Right? Like, yeah, like no one's expecting drop kick. That's the least.
And with all the weapons in him, Collodi's a little heavier than usual. I mean, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Malvolo is also surprised at the outcome because he wasn't expecting Collodi to drop kick him. I, the player, was, but you know,
And no one's expecting.
Because I failed my sense motive and I didn't want to metagame and be all like that. But you know, he's not
Fair
letting
enough.
us through, and Collodi's solving it Crut style, like he was talking about.
I respect it.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't really help me, but lights out. The target is blinded until the next turn.
Okay.
Is the critical effect.
So two things happen. Firstly, Collodi flies across the room, charging. Cassandra, Rain, just kind of taken back by the situation. The tiefling gets slammed in the face. The dust from some of the wall gets into his eyes, so he can't see what's going on. They are blinded. And at that point, Nyx scurries under the door and heads down the stairs. And we transfer over to Nyx, the little AB spider. Nyx,
and I'll go ahead and do the share sense. So I'm just
Awesome.
kind of leaning against the wall, oblivious to everything upstairs.
yeah, oblivious to what's about to happen.
Cool.
as you jump into the body of Nyx, you could see out of its eyes, you kind of descend stairs, and they go from wood to stone, and you go down, and there is soot at this point. It does look like there was a fire. You descend the stairs, and in the darkness, your spider senses kick in. You go down a little bit more, and you enter into a large room. The room combines the features of a wizard's laboratory and a catacomb. Several tables bearing bodies covered by drapes dominate the room, while tools, ranging from shovels to a wide variety of other equipment, hang on the walls, like bone saws and stuff like that. You look around the room, and this is either an operating. There are two tables, and on one of the tables looks like a creature is laying there, a torso of a person.
I'm gonna kind of nudge Nyx to like use the climbing ability to like run up the wall and run along the ceiling, so I can get like a top down view.
A top down view, sure. As you kind of run along the ceiling, and now you're looking down. You see you now get a better image of what's on that table, and it's very it's a torso. One of the arms is kind of stitched on the shoulder part, but it doesn't look like it fit properly, like it was kind of too large. The head has stitching around the neck, and where the crown of the skull, it's open and it's kind of hollowed out, and you get this very reanimator vibe. As you're looking down on this area, a door opens from back in the room, and out steps a man. Your typical wizard, right? Wizard robes, holding a book, scribbling notes, and kind of walks into the room, and now is sitting over the body, writing notes furiously in their book, putting the book down, grabbing what looks like different vials off the table, pouring them together, and then starts to kind of draw symbols on the table, on the torso, on the body of this creature, arcane symbols. And we switch back to upstairs, as everyone upstairs now needs to roll initiative, because that's a thing.
So they saw us attack. Dang it.
Blinded after.
I would like to make a bluff check.
Blinding should be a thing.
You want to make a bluff check?
I didn't kick you.
You didn't kick him.
That's it. Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
It's collapsed somehow.
Should I roll initiative since I'm like not there?
You won't until you kind of phase back in. We're gonna rely on your friends to keep you out of combat or to maneuver you around.
Can I, also in the confusion, are the quartz in my pockets glowing more in this room?
So they're in your pocket, right? And you're in this room, and they are glowing. They are actively glowing. It's not like bright light at this point, but they are glowing.
Yeah. Disco pants.
Disco pants.
Filled with disco fever.
Clody, what did you get? Marvolo got a 22. So Clody is a 22. Wonderful. Cassandra, it's your go.
Okay, so I feel it in my heart that I know for sure this is wrong.
Yeah.
But it feels so right.
I feel it in my heart, but especially after the discussion we had previously, I'm not just going to go like guns blazing, like pew, pew, pew. So I'm going to hold an attack action until Nixon tells us what's going on. I'm going to hold an attack action.
Okay.
And then I'll check if the quartz is glowing, and then I'm gonna say the quartz is glowing more here. Yeah. And that's what I will do.
Okay, sure.
Oh, wait, no. And I'll also cast guidance.
And we'll cast guidance. Okay, who are you casting guidance on?
I will cast guidance on Rain, who's next to me. So
Awesome.
I'll touch her and I'll say, look, I know we're going to do what needs to be done, but we'll give them a chance, even though I know they're awful.
They're awful. Oh. This guy is not there. Claudie Marvola, what would you two like to do?
Well, Marvolo is a little bit taken aback by Claudie's sudden drop kick and inspiration of Crud. He steps back away as he says, well, it's too late to stop now, Claudie. But don't kill him. That's make him quiet. Not kill it. I don't symbol well. I'm so sorry. Rain. You look like you have some owies. I'm going to very quickly just and I'm going to make a medicine check, which I'm going to set the DC at 20.
Okay. And you pass that.
All right, which is 4d8 plus 10, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Or something of that effect. Okay, there we go. Come now. 1. Well, that's 14.
Nice.
I don't know why it keeps rolling 24 for some reason. So that is 14, 20, 28. 28 plus 3 is 31 hit points healed.
Nice. That gets Rain at full. Claudie, yeah. Claudie is standing next to Gortys. Gortys, what would you like Claudie to do?
Oh, I am absolutely okay. So I've moved. I've used that, and I'm going to tell Claudie to continue. So Claudie is going to continue to drop kick. Now, I'd like to stipulate that Claudie is doing non-lethal damage, and even though it says slashing, I'm not going to be using my blades. I'm just going to be like basically having Claudie sort of emulate. He's going to kind of like do wrestling moves. He's going to like grab. Like now that he's done the drop kick, he kind of grabs hold of one leg and like tries to spin him into the wall.
Sure. Yeah. So make an athletics check, please.
Well, I was just gonna hit him, but yeah.
Oh, you're just gonna punch him?
No,
Sure,
no.
Punch him away.
If I can do an athletics check, I'll do the wrestling thing. I said I was gonna do it. I'll commit to it. No chance I could use acrobatics and turn this into like a Huren Kanrana type thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. You know, the chat jokes, but I know my wrestling.
Oh, nice.
27.
Yeah, that's more than enough to beat their fortitude save. So Claudie kind of like jumps up and does all these moves, spinning around the body of this tiefling, this thin tiefling. And what's really cool, what everyone sees is Claudie is using the fact that he has his robot and his ball joints. So his torso like does like a spin, and then his legs spin independently of the torso. So it all looks really, really cool. And
then with his second action, I'm going to basically, so from behind, Claudie's got like sort of him in like this half Nelson. I'm going to rotate my legs and segment the spinal cord so that I basically turn around my lower half, and I'm going to drop this guy into a full force suplex.
All right. So he is grabbed and he is blinded. So if you would like to roll damage, roll to hit.
I would like to roll hit. Now, do I take the -5 penalty for this being a second attack action?
Yes.
Okay. All right, here we go. And
natural 20. And okay. So we're here now.
All right. So I actually have an unarmed puppet attack, which I will. So that's the normal damage. That's 14 and 8. So that's 22 damage.
Okay.
And let's see, crit effect. It says deal 1 damage to this person, then deal 1 damage to an adjacent target. Can I redraw?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, the backbreaker.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Until healed, the target is clumsy and enfeebled 2.
What?
Yeah. The
Kind of feels
backbreaker.
sorry for him.
And enfeebled. By the way, this is terrible. Both of those are pretty terrible. Enfeebled 1, enfeebled 2. So they are blinded still until it's their turn. They are grabbed. They are clumsy 2 and enfeebled 2.
And as he's kind of like knocked to the ground, you watch as Kalodi just starts going, "You can't see me!" Literally.
I feel like I get a
you're
jinx point for that one.
Jinx points. No. Okay. Also, we got another donation from, of course, the ever wonderful Antipodian, who has tipped $10 for hero points to Malvolo and Rain. Thank you so much, dude. We will be sure to put them to good use. Also, a very special hello to Manapot Studios. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the raiding people. We are currently pro wrestling a insane asylum worker who helps people with mental illness. I wish I had a better explanation for what we're doing. I'm sure there is a way to.
Exactly what's happening, though.
Shush. We have
We're
reasons.
yelling at a blind man.
Yeah,
is what you're doing
things
right
are
now.
kind of shady here.
Yeah. Also, he might be blind.
Helps. Big
Yeah.
inverted commas.
Yeah. So today went differently in my head, but we're here. So, I guess it's Rain's go. Rain, what would you like to do?
So I have a question. The
Yes.
Habes and Gurnak already went up the stairs, right?
They are going to retrieve Grayst to have a conversation with Grayst for you guys.
Right. Because we're attacking and going down the basement, can I cast Tanglefoot on the door to try to make it that they can't open it?
Yes, that is a very common thing people with that spell ask for all the time, and I like to say yes. So that will increase the door's stability. So you kind of cast Tanglefoot, the vines, and kind of grow from the door itself and onto the frame, like it's grasping the frame. So yeah, that is 100% possible.
Perfect. I just want to make sure like it's a little bit harder for them to come downstairs.
Yeah, it's like you're driving a wedge under the door. That's perfect. Yeah. I feel like that's the first thing everyone with that spell does. It's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So useful.
Yeah, but we'll take it. We'll use it. That takes 2 actions. My last one, can I just do Titan Wrestler and just pin?
Yeah.
poor
You
Gorgus
must
against
use
the
Titan Wrestler.
Yeah.
Now that we know that that's what it's called, you may use nothing else in this
Yeah.
scenario.
Wrestler. And she's just gonna run straight at him.
Can I tag you? Can I have Kalodi like high five you as you come in? Like, yeah.
I'm gonna jump over the table just to get in there and like I'm gonna
Hell
run
yeah.
straight at him.
Yeah. Rain kind of rushes in, using her
Who's in the building, and she's gonna
using her momentum and strength and size. She kind of comes forward. Claudie tags her as they kind of run past each other, and Rain just shoulder checks like this poor guy who's blinded, clumsy, enfeebled, grabbed. He is shocked by the sudden turn of events, and Rain lands into him, hammering into him. The guy slams against the wall and kind of goes limp at this point, dropping to the floor. And Rain like pins him down. Still breathing, right? Like this isn't murder.
No. I'm not like stabbing him with my
No.
antlers or
Just
yeah.
Um,
No.
yep. So poor Gortys is unconscious at this point.
Are we the bad people?
So let me just add another status element to this person. They are unconscious, so that will end combat. And we now pick back up with Nexon. Nexon,
Sorry, just real quick. Can I do something super quick?
sure, not a problem.
So Collodi looks over to Rain and says, "Wow, I didn't know you had it in ya."
Teamwork.
And speaking of getting things in you, help me with this guy. I got an idea. I'm gonna open up Collodi and activate Collodi bot and basically put him in the recess that is inside my puppet, keeping his head sticking out. But I want to then wear his clothes over Collodi. And then I'm gonna pretend like I'm standing guard.
You want to strip this poor man?
Well, just his shirt. I mean, yeah. Look, yes, I do.
I think what makes it worse for me as Carla is that he's going to be like in his underwear inside Collodi. That makes it weirder.
Yes.
So Collodi will unscrew his head and.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take his clothes off, but I will put him inside you. You can take his clothes off.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check his pockets for money.
So let's take our weapons back. Deal that way you have room for him in there.
There you go.
Good thinking.
Yeah. I'll take Nixon's stuff to give it to her when she comes back. And also, I'm going to say, after I saw Rain attack, I'm like, okay, we're doing this. This is a place of evil necromancy. We are going to not burn it to the ground because we need evidence, but essentially burn it to the ground.
Yes, this is essential. This is justified. We have to stop the necromancy. Okay.
The bad necromancy.
I'm going to gently tuck him inside Collodi. Like, it's going to be okay. I'm so sorry. I hope you're not the worst person in the world.
Poor guy's just trying to make his living.
No, maybe he could be clueless. Maybe he's never been to basements.
Not.
I'm going to gently rest his head on the inside of Collodi, and we're going to shut the door.
Just shh. Good night, sweet prince. Sure. So at this point, you kind of collapse the guy into Collodi, and yeah, the door is still shut. How would you guys like to handle this?
I could ram through the door like usual.
Wait. Malvola's going to use his lock-picking kit to just...
Pick the lock.
Yeah.
Or do that.
Yeah, I did not... See, Collodi might be all combat and stuff. Malvolo is a healer rogue. It's the one thing I can do. I remember when I was fighting... Do you remember last week when I was fighting 2 ghouls and I just sat there crying behind the spellcaster? There's a good reason. Yes. Without Malvolo, I've got nothing. I mean, without Collodi, I've got nothing. All right. I need a thievery check. Oh.
So trying to unlock this, you start to like pick at it and turn it, and it's going. It's slow going, but it's going.
I'll bet a hero point.
Okay.
Hero point, why?
The hero point treats you poorly, and chooses not to let you in.
Oh, was there a key in the guy's pocket?
There was a key in the guy's pocket.
God damn it.
Not a problem.
Nexon, having no idea any of this is going on and assuming like people are still standing around her, is just going to kind of like no clue of anything, but just whisper, there's a wizard down together, a body. So if anyone hears that.
I'm waiting with your weapons by you because I can see you're doing the thing. And Nixon says there's a wizard around the body. It's it's definitely a ritual. We need to get there now. And then I'm gonna go to shake Nixon and I'm like, oh, maybe that's a bit. Come back. We're coming.
Yeah, so Nixon, you're downstairs and you could see that this guy is performing a number of different rituals on the corpses, on this corpse down there. You're able to kind of call out to the group and say like, hey, there's something terrible happening down here. Marvolo, looking through the pocket of the poor Gornak, Gortys, you find his set of keys. You're able to unlock the door, and at that point, Carla, as the door opens, the energies come back flooding into the room. Marvolo, as you open and turn it, Rain and Marvolo, you both see on the inside is an arcane seal. And having opened this, you've now kind of flooded out the energies, let whatever energies that were in there kind of flood out. It was kind of trying to hold back the negativity that was going through. Carla, you look around and you can see the shades. They're now in the room with you. The rest of the group cannot, but you are in the in-between at this point. Your mind is half here and half not. The stones in your pocket are bright, and Rain and Marvolo, as you feel the darkness, you feel that energy kind of come out and over you and wash over you. You kind of look around and you can see Carla's pocket does have light coming from it. There is now like a bright light, like, so when you turn a flashlight on, you put it in your pocket or your phone turns on. That's what it looks like coming from her pocket. Nexon, you're down there and you see the guy. Suddenly he knows there is clearly something up. He kind of turns up and he looks and he's like, uh-oh. And he starts to look through his book and read his notes faster. And he's writing more with his finger. He's now dipping his finger into these alchemic potions and he's scribbling harder and faster.
I will snap out of Nyx and just kind of, before I go, give him a little like nudge to come back. So yeah, Nyx kind of eyes open. It was like, what happened to being polite? She just sees this guy.
I'm going to hand Nixon her weapons, but it's vague, like when you're not looking at her, the person you're handing it to. And my voice, unfortunate in my life, sorry, is going to drop like a tone lower. And I'm going to say, it's when Nixon says, what happened to being polite? And I'm like, there's no politeness here anymore. There's only retribution for these poor souls. And then I'm going to say, I will avenge you. And I'm looking around the room and I'm looking for my friend that I hugged.
Right. He's speeding things up. So, the door's open. Wonderful.
As you start to go forward, and Carla, Cassandra, as you start to move forward, that shade, your friend, kind of appears in front of you and sees Rain, like looks at you, and again, it's two-dimensional, so it also has eyes in its back of his head, and then it turns and it's kind of trying to reach and get Rain, like stop her from moving forward towards the stairs. It seems more concerned about Rain than it is whatever's happening down there. And it's reaching forward and it's just going through Rain, like the hands, the shadow. And Rain, you don't feel anything. To you, you're like, yeah, there's necromantic symbols down there, but it's a different sight.
I'm gonna shout, stop! And I'm gonna say, Rain, I know how you feel about this, but I can see the shades that I saw previously, and they don't want you to go down there. And considering whatever is doing this is looking for you, I don't think we should send you down there.
Cass, we can't be afraid. This is awful, and I'm not going to just stop because what? Something terrible can happen. Something terrible already has happened. I can't just sit by and let this continue.
You and we can't leave you alone. You and someone else can stay here and stop the others from coming down, and we can go and investigate because.
Hey, listen, Cass, with all due respect. Now, I know I don't have a brain in this case, but this is not something you can do without Rain. Now, call me crazy, but without Crut around, she's the only person here who's gonna be able to protect us. I mean, look, we are good at talking, we are good at spelling, we are good at all these other things. But I've fallen to pieces already multiple times, and if anything that ghoul farm taught us is exactly how much we need Rain. Like, she kept back that entire horde from jumping out of that farmyard and crushing me. That actually did crush me, I mean, to be fair. But, I couldn't hold them back. We can't do this without her. Just saying.
We don't really have time to discuss this. Something is happening down there right now, and Nexon's just gonna kind of like speed walk to the door and start going down the stairs.
Yep.
I'll go left.
Oh,
All right, Cassandra.
I agree with Nexon.
Compromise,
Let's get moving. Go. Forget the order. Just down the stairs.
As Nexon steps down the stairs and goes, the darkness kind of starts to envelop you as you're going down the stairs. There are torchlight, obviously, from down there. Some maybe candles lighting your way. You start to traverse down, and we'll take our 15-minute break right here. We will be right back in 15 minutes. We'll see what's going on with everyone. I want to say thank you very much to all the donations. Thank you so much to all of our wonderful watchers and listeners, because I sometimes listen while I drive. And I want to thank everyone, all the raids. Thank you so much. We will be back in 15 minutes. So stick around, see what happens down in the sanatorium. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for staying around with us. So, if you're joining us now, we're playing Rise of the Runelords Pathfinder in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. As you can see by the little label on this side. And our party is investigating the Habe Sanatorium. Now, when our party got there, Cassandra did some spooky necromancy magic and knows that there is other necromancy going on in here. Nexon sent down her little spidery friend, who you could see on their character over here. And there you go. And they saw that there was definitely a necromancer downstairs raising or doing some kind of Herbert West reanimator stuff happening in the basement of this sanatorium. The party tried to talk to one of the aides, where Claudie then drop kicked them in the head, and Rain full on just Titan wrestled the guy to the ground, knocking them out. The rest of Habe and the other aide had gone upstairs to go fetch Grace to let them have a polite conversation with the party, where I feel like polite's kind of gone out the window at this point. As we were leaving, the door to the crypt downstairs was open, freeing the necromantic energies, allowing Cassandra to see the shades that she had previously saw in the plane of death. And now she could see them. They're on this current plane of existence. They're trying to reach and grab Rain to stop her from going downstairs, to stop her from going forward. But Rain doesn't play those games, and necromancy is on the short list of things she does not like. And Nexon, knowing necromancy, seeing the evils that come from it, sometimes rushed downstairs, followed closely by Rain and Claudie, and Cassandra. Marvolo taking up the rear and shutting the door or leaving it open.
Oh, shutting the door.
Shutting the door. Wonderful. As the party descends these stairs, again, going from wood to now stone, to then there's cover everything in soot. There's candlelight, and you could hear chanting. As you reach the bottom of the stairs, Nexon, you can see the necromancer. And they are chanting and doing some kind of magic over this corpse. You can see the runes that they were inscribing glowing with eldritch energy, now filling the room with a green haze light. And the necromancer looks up from their book, their eyes also green, and they open their mouth, and what looks like fog just rolls out. This almost yellow like fog rolls out of their mouth and slowly covers the body. Everyone should be in initiative. Please re-roll initiative. I don't know if everyone's rolled initiative at this point, but Nexon, you're there at the bottom of the stairs. What would you like to do?
Nexon's gonna run up and try and like smudge the runes, like break whatever, like interrupt the ritual.
The ritual, yeah. So Nexon lunging forward, running her feet pounding the pavement. She runs forward and starts to like smudge all the runes. The torso of the body that was stitched together starts to shake and convulse, as you could see the fog coming from the necromancer's mouth going into the nostrils of the body. It starts to convulse, and then it stops as the runes have been pushed away. The necromancer looks up. The last of the fog that was coming out of his mouth, this yellow fog that was coming out of his mouth, stops. And he looks and he says, "What are you doing? You've ruined everything."
What are you doing?
My experiment. Can't Habe? What? Where's Habe? That idiot. He is supposed to stop everyone from coming down here. That was our agreement. But you'll be next. And he points at you, and the torso next to you, its arm starts to move on its own and twist and turns, and you hear a clicking sound. And just remember, it was a weird sized arm, and the hand comes to life and kind of leans out and grabs onto your hand as you are now dealing with what I like. This is fun. So there's a lot of different undead creatures. Undead seems to be the things, and it's the giant crawling hand grabs onto you, and you can feel its fingers do that thing where they click into place. So actually, let's go to initiative, and think yes. So its crawling hand goes first. Apparently, that rolled the most initiative. I've never heard of a crawling hand rolling so much initiative. And it breaks away from the body. The stitches tearing loose, and it kind of jumps. And if you would, it looks like cousin It from the Addams Family, and it's on the table, and it's kind of confused, and it slowly crawls off the table onto the floor, and it's going to try to grab you. It does. It grabs you. So you are now grabbed by this crawling hand. It's around your little ankle. Cassandra, what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna come down the stairs. Are the shades coming with me? Are they still trying to like stop rain?
The shades, at this point, as you come rushing down the stairs with the rest of the party, as you run past your friend, it makes eye contact with you, and it looks sad. You get the feeling of sadness coming from it, but it seems to stop at the door frame. It can't go any further.
Okay, yeah, then I'll notice that and go down the stairs. And we heard did we also hear where he said he was supposed to stop everyone?
Yes, that was loud enough. He's yelling it.
Okay, I'm going to 10, 15, 20. Yeah, I'm gonna move close to him because I am very upset. And then can I... Is it an action to talk?
No.
If I want to...
If you're giving me like a Shakespearean soliloquy, then yes. But if it's only a few sentences, you should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say, what are you trying to do here? This is perverse.
And the necromancer looks at you and says, how many are you? Perverse? What do you mean? I am doing what needs to be done. I am curing them of their illness.
Okay, then I'm going to, on seeing the hand, while I'm trying to have a conversation with this guy, I'm gonna cast Disrupt Undead on the hand. No, I'm not gonna do that. Rain doesn't like necromancy. I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to Divine Lance the hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
It hits.
That's divine magic, so it's not so bad.
Awesome.
And then that's my turn, as I'm like, cure them of what? And that's the end.
Next, and it's your go. Sorry.
Nexon's going to yell out, I do declare, let go of me. And I'm gonna cast Needle of Vengeance on the thing that's holding on to me.
Nice. So it succeeded. So it
Yeah.
beat it. Okay. So that the hand is.
It's a basic will save, so.
Oh, okay. So it still does half damage. Yes.
Okay. So, and I will name myself as the forbidden creature. So every time it uses a hostile action, it takes 1 mental damage.
Oh, nice.
And then can I try and get out of its grasp?
You may. So all you have to do is use either a athletics or acrobatics. It's up to you to kind of just pull yourself loose.
All right. I will try and just kind of trying to find that right way to slip my hand out rather than use sheer force. Nope. Probably not.
Would you like to use a hero point?
Yeah.
There we go.
So I'll try re-rolling that.
Oh,
Nope.
no. Today, the dice are not your friends. So as you try to wiggle loose, this hand has a very tight grasp on you. And you realize some of the stitching is still attached, which is also giving it a little bit of leverage against you trying to free yourself. Next up is not that guy. It is Colody and
no, it would be Rain.
It would be
Malvolo
Rain.
is the one whose initiative we go off.
Sorry.
Cool. All right. I see this hand.
Yes. So you come rushing down these stairs. You enter into this room. You could see runes written all over the walls at this point. Rain has rushed in and kind of started trying to stop the ritual. Not Rain, sorry. Nexon has rushed in to stop the ritual, and she's by the table. And there's this large hand just doing its own thing, holding her by the ankle, trying to keep her in place.
All right. I'm going to try to attack that particular hand. In that case, I'm going to use Produce Flame.
Yes.
I'm going to just light up my hand. I'm going to try to grab the hand while I'm holding it.
Yes, do it. Nice, yeah.
Perfect.
Hand, not
Cool.
foot.
Leave her alone.
There you go. So yeah, you produce this flame and you burn the hand, and the hand kind of reels back from the fire.
Okay. Good. Since it's further back, as my final action, can I just try to hit it with my sickle then?
Yes.
Leave her alone. Okay, we'll just kidding.
Sadly, it misses. And you slash, and it's a hand, so it's hard to hit. It's wiggly.
Yeah.
Nope, sorry. And I should remove these people from the list. Go away.
But at least burn it. It jumps away. I try to slash at it and it's keep moving. I'm like, I just have to kill this thing. We have to stop this ritual, whatever it takes.
Yes. As you look around the room and you could see the tools and the boxes and the crates and the coffins, suddenly 2 of the coffins start to knock and fall over as hands start crawling out from them. Just the hands. More crawling hands. They don't get enough love in these games.
I don't think this is gonna make me love them more.
Yeah. And they are going to crawl towards Rain and Nexon. And the first one's going to crawl and get next to you, and it's going to try to grab you, Rain. Oh, it critically grabs you.
Cool.
And
I was wondering what had happened to those. It's like we went through an entire combat without getting crit.
yeah,
It was amazing.
and
Those
then
good old days.
it's going to try and scratch and crawl up your body, and as it does cause a little bit of slashing damage, dealing 8 points of slashing damage to you.
All right, 1 to 5.
1, please.
Whoa. Slashing damage. A brow
Yes.
cut. Critical effect. Target takes 1d4 persistent bleed damage. Until the bleed ends, all creatures have concealment against this individual.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no.
No. Awesome. So
Oh, that's okay. I
as
got
it
you.
crawls,
I got you, fam.
it crawls up your body, and as it does, you could feel its bony fingers kind of tearing and scratching into your hide. So that's its turn,
Gross.
and here comes hand number 2, and that
Brain's
one's gonna
definitely
go.
doing like that spider dance, like when you feel like there's one on you and you just
Yeah.
Ew.
15, 20, 30 feet to get to Cassandra, and that hand's gonna jump and try to land on your face hugger style, from Aliens. Let's see if it could do that, Cassandra. And it does. It lands on Cassandra's face, grabbing and digging its claws into your skin, Cassandra, dealing damage to you. And that's the end of that creature's go. The necromancer laughs and looks at the party, seeing that more people, he could hear people coming down the stairs. He's going to reach deep into his reserve energies and starts to spew that fog back into the room. As he does, it kind of covers the floor in this yellow fog, and to your right, Rain and Nexon, you can hear a door shaking at this, now starting to shake as the fog goes under it, and it opens, revealing 2 more zombies coming from that room, whole bodies at this point. And that is his turn, is to animate the deads. And now it's Marvolo Collodi. Uh-oh.
No, that's okay. I'm good. I'm just, I am deep in concentration. All right. Collodi. Help Cass. And Collodi will 5, 10, 15, 20, and will draw out his puppet arm blade and try to cut the crawling hand.
Okay.
Okay. And that is a... Ooh, still a hit. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What I want to hear. That is... Oh, hang on. I did 10 points of damage to myself. Don't do damage to myself. But that is 10 points of damage.
Yes. We'll take that away. And this one is crawling hand number 2. 10 points of damage. Collodi slashes into this little beastie, cutting it in 2. The hand falls off of Cassandra's face. What else would you like to do?
All right. Malvolo quickly moves. 5, 10, 15, 20. Makes his way over to here. And as he does so, he gets to the door here and he goes, okay, let's try this. And I want to use my quick crafting skills to basically barricade, to close, lock, and barricade the door.
Sure. Make a craft check, please.
The inventor reaches into his big bag of tools and pulls out everything he needs. And that is Collodi, not Malvolo. Thank you. As... Will a 30 do?
Oh, yes. So the creatures, as they start to shamble towards the door, Marvolo rushes forward and Night of the Living Dead style just starts to barricade the door, shuts it. So a 30 is pretty high. I don't know if they're going to be able. So they're just going to try and shamble out, as it is their go. So let's see how these zombies do. Let's make a athletics check and see if they could beat a 30. Nope. So that one goes and cannot get out. So you could hear them scratching on the opposite side of the door, trying to slash and grab their way out. This one's going to go. And sadly, that is not enough to, Marvolo is really holding the door shut at this point. But it is the top of the round as this giant hand that is on Nexon is going to go. And it's going to try and now squeeze and crush Nexon's as it holds you. That does hit. So let's see if. Oof.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
So it crushes, and you can feel your bones breaking under this creature's grasp.
And it takes 1 damage.
It does take 1 damage, yes. And that's its go, because it grabbed you and did the stuff. Cassandra, it is your go.
I'm gonna look around now that I've rushed in. Can I look and see? I imagine he's trying to reanimate what's on the table. Is there any other very quickly to glance defining things that I can be like, oh god, there's a vampire in the corner or something?
No, there doesn't seem to be any other undead now filling the room.
Okay. Marine doesn't want me. I don't want to use necromancy in front of Marine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast Divine Lance on the giant hand again.
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
Oh, you're just being a bit careful today, and you do not hit.
Do I want to spend a hit point? Wait, what? Okay, no, that's not. I don't have that yet. Can I?
Maybe I would notice that you're using necromancy. I'm a little preoccupied with a hand right now.
Yeah.
I just like.
This is Becca's.
Yeah, but I feel like if I use disrupt undead, it's gonna be kind of like blatant that like all of a sudden.
Yeah, but I mean, how many people really know that disrupting undead is necromancy?
Someone who's not familiar with it.
Just saying.
Okay. Okay. I will have a think on that if we're in further dire straits. And then I'm going to cast guidance on Nixon.
Nice. Awesome.
And I'm going to say, let go of my friends.
Nexon, it is your go.
I'm going to try and get out of it. Grasp again.
Sure.
And I'll probably end up using guidance. So, extra D4. Is that what guidance does?
No, it's like a +1.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But you got that. Yeah, +1.
Okay.
One moment. Let me see. It's a bit harder than you thought. So you're still kind of like wiggling, and the creature's really got a tight grasp around your ankle. So if you want to cast a spell, or if you have,
she'll well, her foot's being held, so she's just gonna rub her hands together to try and get that electrical energy, and just point out the hand that's holding her and the one that's holding Rain, and cast electric arc.
Ooh, nice. It fails, so you hit, and then you can bounce it over to the nearest one to you.
Yeah. So that does, and I think I actually should be rolling an additional 1d4.
this point, yes.
Okay.
One more d4.
All right, and then the one holding rain.
Oh, it critical failed. So you
Yeah.
nice.
Is it off me then?
It actually might be dead.
Oh, good. Even better.
Yeah, it is dead. So it fries and it does that thing like it tenses up and just falls off of Rain onto the floor.
Ugh.
Oh. All right. I think that's all I can do.
Awesome. Not bad. You've done a lot. And Rain's now free of the creepy crawly that was on them. What would you like to do, Rain?
Thank you so much. I see this one here. I'm gonna move myself here. I'd like to use Gust of Wind and just
Okay.
blow a straight line towards both the giant crawling hand and Kaizarlu.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's their name.
The Necromancer.
The Necromancer.
So it essentially creates like a 60-foot line.
Yeah, it does.
Menace.
Yeah. So I believe they both need to make a save against.
Fortitude DC save. On here it says 19.
It's on your spell save, so it probably would be a little higher. So
The
let
19?
us. 19. Yeah, it's I believe probably be a little higher, so it'd probably be closer to 22.
Okay.
So let's
just
see.
take me.
So let's see if they. I don't know if this thing can make any kind of save like that.
Good.
We'll see, right? All right. 20. $11. The hand does not save, and let's see what the Necromancer does.
So is it success or critical success?
I believe the Necromancer. Yeah, the Necromancer critically failed, and the hand was a success. So you successfully hit the hand, but the Necromancer critically failed that save.
I failed against the critical. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so creature's unaffected, but if I succeeded, then it is knocked prone.
So the hand is prone, so it gets knocked off of Nexon and is prone.
Mhm.
Okay. And what happens to the Necromancer? He gets blown back, right? Like 60 feet or something?
If he critically succeeded, right?
No, he critically failed.
Oh, he critically failed. Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm flipping. The creature
okay.
is pushed 30 feet into the wind's direction, knocked prone, and takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, okay. Roll 2d6. Actually, 5, 10, 3d6 because you would have knocked him right into a wall.
There's the initial 2. Let me add in one more. It's not high, but that's okay. I was just gonna roll that there.
Who said
There, plus an additional 5. So total 9. The
9
4 should have
points of
already been
damage?
applied. Add 5 more.
Got it. So
Ooh.
wow.
With this
Okay.
gust of wind, she's going to apply like almost a booming voice effect, like you need to stop this now, trying to shut it down, and she's going to lift her shield as her
Mhm.
remaining act.
Awesome. Yeah. So Rain, you blow the Necromancer. Everyone sees this. The Necromancer hits the wall and is trying to fight against the wind, but the rocks kind of are driven into their back, and little blood is coming out.
That's nice.
So it's pretty gnarly at this point. Fun days. Let's see what else goes on. Is the Necromancer's turn. The Necromancer kind of stands from the floor looking at you, Rain, and says, "Do not tell me what to do, child," and fires from their hand 3 magic missiles directly at you, which
Feels
are
personal.
awesome because they just hit. They just do what they want. Yeah. So, but it's never a lot of damage. It's always just it's always like D4. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. It went better as we went along.
Yeah.
A little less. 5, 3, 2. I'll take 10
Yeah.
points of damage. I'm glad I got
Yeah.
healed earlier.
It's not terrible. Now it's Collodi's and Marvolo's turn. Collodi, Marvolo.
All right, just before we get into that, we just got given a $30 donation for 3 sin boons.
Whoa!
sin boons
Thank you so much.
The sin boons are allocated to Malvolo, Nexon, and Rain, which is awesome. But the person who donated, Eric, of course, a long-term fan of the channel. Hi, Eric. I hope you're doing well. Has requested that these be done at random. So, among the many little tools and tricks and little card things that I keep scattered around my desk, I have, of course, the 7 deadly sins in card form. So, I'm going to give these the good old shuffly shuffle. And we're going to pick at random 1 to 7. So, I'm going to give the first shuffle. And Malvolo's sin shall be pride, of course. Why not? Yeah. I'll take pride. There's no shaking it. It's the sin that I was definitely born to have. All
I'm just
right.
like, please let Rain get necromancy. Like, everything in my life will be made. Oh, yeah.
All right. Nexon, pick a number between 1 and 7.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is greed, the magic of transmutation on that one. Rain. All right, this is it.
7.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You also get pride.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, look at that. All right. And in addition, we have received just, again, another $10 donation from an anonymous bidder. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
If
Anonymous.
if that anonymous person, if wishes to stay anonymous. Oh, it was you? Okay, good, very well. D Mystic, you can choose who gets it, who gets the other sin boon and what that sin boon is, and I will add them as we go. Thank you so much, guys. And one last kind of quick announcement, and that is we are $11 away from the boss battle bar being completed. So yeah, just an FYI, guys. Yeah, let me get these going. And very quickly on my turn, Collodi. Sorry, I must have missed it. Is Kaizalu in any way, shape, or form maintaining the ritual while this is happening, or is he just here?
He is here. The ritual is happening. It looks like Nexon might have disrupted it fairly well.
Okay.
As there would have been definitely more zombies in this room.
Sure. Okay. In which case, Collodi is going to go for Kaizalu, and Malvolo is going to step over to here and use his medicine check to heal both Rain and Nexon. I'm not going to use my 20 thing. I'm just going to take a critical bloody thing on it, which actually means that according to this with my medicine check, it means that when I treat wounds, I heal 4d8 and any condition happens to be removed. Or, wounded condition. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. You both heal 20 damage.
Nice.
And does that also remove the bleeding damage from the cut?
It does.
Sweet. All right. So move that, and then Collodi moves over, and we'll choppity chop. And he hits. As he
Nice.
does so, he does 8 points of damage.
Awesome. I believe that might have taken him out. 8 points.
Yep.
Did it roll?
I don't think it rolled on him. I can roll it again if you want.
Please and thank you.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
is
that takes
13.
him out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that takes him out. So how does Collodi do this?
So as Collodi's rushing out, you know, the hand is still kind of stuck on the end of his blade. He sort of says, "Hey, I think this belongs to you," and he flicks it out forward to try and get him to kind of raise his hands to block his face. And then as he does, Collodi sort of stabs through the zombie hand, through his hand, through his other hand, and then pins it all to his head. Thwack! Nexon showed me that.
Nice.
I would swear, but it's called. It's something that rhymes with a cross stitch. He says it's a cross something else.
So as that happens, the necromancer drops to the floor. The giant hand on the table kind of freezes and drops. The banging you hear from the other rooms and you now hear obviously the bodies falling to the floor, as if whatever evil magic what was coming from here has ended. The runes on the wall kind of fade into the stone. It seems as if the stone is just absorbing the magic, and even the art, the paint or the inks that were written fade away, and you can no longer read them. We are out of combat, obviously. What would everyone?
Yeah, I'm going to go up to the necromancer's body and just search for a clue or.
Sure. Rifling through the body, you find the spell book, the necromancer's spell book with all his different spells in it, and you are quickly looking through it. It is arcane. So it's written in their kind of mathematical scripts and stuff, and you get a gist that clearly they are trying to summon or convert the living to the dead, and or vice versa, bring the dead back to the living. As you're searching around the room, you now hear upstairs yelling, lots of yelling.
Oh, no, I guess they figured it out.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna be in a tiny bit of trouble.
A little bit. Not a
Well,
lot.
let's be honest, they're in a ton of bit of trouble too. Look at all of these written on the walls, the hands, whatever's on the table. This is unnatural. And they were doing something incredibly foul and awful to these poor souls.
And he said Habes knew, and Habes was supposed to help him.
We need to undo this before they come down. Anything. We have to help put these souls to rest. That's the one and only main concern that I have right now.
Did any of the shades come down once he collapsed or died?
He is dead, right? And no, they did not come down yet, or they haven't entered this room.
I'm gonna say they aren't in this room. I don't know if here's where we can put their souls aren't here. So and then I'm gonna show the book and say, was this the book he was going through, Nixon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it appears I don't think we need the book to tell us, but they're trying to bring an army of undead to life.
Oh, why?
Do you think this was the guy who was responsible for the ghouls, or is this something else?
Is the quartz still glowing?
No.
Well, it seems the magic activated the quartz from the previous undead before Thistletop, so perhaps. But he said he was trying to help them, and cure them, and I don't know why they were so afraid of you coming down here, Rain. None of this makes sense, and Kaz, as you can see, she's actually visibly shaken because it's so perverse, and and this is helping me play the fact that Carla can't put two and two together. Kaz is just like, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then I don't know what's going on.
I have an idea, and pull out the note that was written for Rain and look at the note next to the spell book to see if it looks like maybe the same handwriting.
They are not the same handwriting, sadly. But as you do look around the room, right, like just looking through what's going on. Oh, almost pulled my ears out. You notice that Rain, actually, you're, being a druidess, you look around the room, you have this notion, and you're like, oh, this is bad biscuits. And putting two and two together, you kind of walk up to the wall, you start to scratch at, the rocky outcrop, and like a little jagged point, you scratch at it, and the dirt kind of moves away, and you realize there's a quartz sticking out of the wall. And then you scratch at another jagged piece, and there's another bit of quartz. And you're like, oh, there is a lot of quartz down here.
This room has to be embedded with quartz everywhere. I'm just going to start more frantically in my panic, just ripping away, clawing essentially at these walls, just letting as many quartz as I can just kind of fall to the ground. It's becoming a little bit more erratic, and I'm just, instead of like hunting and searching them down, I'm just trying to tear down these walls.
As you do, the stones hit the floor, and some of them flicker with energy, and the sound from upstairs, the yelling, now becomes much more panicked and screaming, and there are now yells, like blood-curdling screams coming from upstairs.
What's going on up there?
How many screams does it sound like different voices?
You hear yelling, banging now. It sounds like combat is happening upstairs, some kind of fight or something. At first it just sounded like yelling, and now it sounds like aggression.
We should go find out what it is. If the quartz is falling out, maybe whatever they've been trying to control, they've lost control of, and we need proof. And we need someone alive to pay for these crimes.
Rain is going to take one last just large scratch along the wall, pulling anything out. All right, let's go upstairs then.
Do we want to leave this book here, or take this as
Nixon, maybe you should take it for additional evidence, and we'll destroy it once we've shown it to Sheriff Baylor. And I'm very clearly giving it to Nixon, like in front of Rain. I'm not keeping the Book of the Undead. Here it is. Weep.
Perfect.
I like that. You're like, I'm not touching this.
It's like, I found this book. Take it.
I am in no way reading this and learning things from here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's brace ourselves. I don't know what's going on upstairs, but hopefully we'll get some more answers. And Rain is going to charge up the stairs.
Charging up the stairs, you come into a room. You're coming back up into the front hall where you were. And to your horror, you see the two brothers. One is on the floor. Something is assaulting them, tearing at their body, and the other seems to be slumped over one of the tables in the room. At the door, you could see Habe. Habe's back is torn up. The clothing is torn on their body, and you could see they're frantically trying to get something unlock the door as and you kind of come up into this panic. Suddenly the creature that is on the floor turns its head and smiles, seeing you, Rain, and it stands up from the carnage of the tiefling brother who's on the floor. This blood is coming out of their body. They're just shredded, and it kind of stands and it dusts itself off, pushing the blood off of its face onto its body, and it kind of cracks its neck and looks at you, and he said, and it does this weird creepy bow, a very deep bow, and says, he said you would come, you would visit me, his lordship. The one that unmade me said so. He has a place for you, a precious place. I'm so jealous. Yes, I am. He has a message for you. He made me remember it before he made me I hope I haven't forgotten. The master would not approve if I forgot. Now let me see. And then he pulls at his straitjacket and tears it open, and you could see carved on his chest a message, and it says, yes, this is what he wants, and it has the rune carved on him also. If you came to his misgivings, that he says, and it says, to my love, join the pack, and I will end my harvest in your honor. Hyphen your lordship. And then the creature kind of laughs a little bit and slowly starts to walk towards Habe. And Habe is frantically trying to unlock the door, and the creature lashes out and bites into Habe's neck. And, blood, gore, and Habe kind of falls slanted onto the thing. And the creature picks up the key and unlocks the door and says, "This way, ma'am. Please come. Please." And then you see it like click, and you could see he's holding it together as fighting back something.
Rain is just for a moment, after reading that message carved into his chest, is stunned, just gripping on the door handle to hold her up as she tries to understand this invitation that has been granted to her. And her thoughts just hit her like a whole flood of, do I follow him? Will this stop anything? Is it worth it? Do I trust this? Is this a trap? What can I possibly do? He doesn't seem to want to hurt her, and she wants answers more than anything. She wants to know what's going on. She's going to lift her shield up.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to follow him a bit.
So walking towards him, you see now Habe is slumped his eyes wide. He's still alive. He's holding onto the wound onto his neck, and this creature, grayest. You would assume this is grayest, the one who survived the encounter. Smed smiles and shows rows of sharp teeth. Yes, please, this way. I will take you to him.
Right, just leave him alone, okay?
Who?
Leave the good doctor, and I'm going to follow you.
Good? No. This doctor, he will be one of us. I will unmake him like the rest.
In due time. But for now, this is my wish. If you want me to follow, you will leave the doctor. You can find him later.
Well, his lordship didn't say anything to me about leaving people alive or killing, but if it is your wish, then I must do as you command.
Right.
And then he kind of bows in your direction. Cassandra, Nexon, Marvolo, Collodi, as you make your way to the upstairs, you could see Rain moving gently forward towards this creature. Cassandra, as you get up there, you now see shades. All of them are free, and they are just standing in here watching. And you see them as people now. They are no longer as these two-dimensional flat beings, and there's about 20 of them just standing in this auditorium watching what's happening. And your friend, right, the one that you've kind of created a friendship, and looks at you, and again, without speaking, you can now hear a voice in your head, and it says, I remember my name. My name is Seralia, and I lived in the manor. Don't trust them. They're all liars. They put me here. And then as Rain gets closer to the creature, it kind of holds its hand out towards you, and you could see these long nails, razor sharp. Says, yes, his lordship will be excited to see you.
Just going to tentatively begin to reach out.
And
what is his name?
His lordship, he goes by many names, but I dare not say them, for I'm not worthy of it. But you will learn in time. Don't worry. Yes, you will learn. He is most merciful. He made me like this, and I now am free to do as I wish.
Free. Right. Free. Okay. All right. She's just continually bracing herself, clearly forcing herself to do this is incredibly uncomfortable. All right. She'll reach out and she's gonna hold his hand. And tell me, where are we going?
Oh, back to the home, to where all this started. We're going home. And then the creature at this point kind of takes your arm and like pulls you closer to it and tucks it under his arm as if you guys, like arm in arm. And he starts to pat he starts to pat your hand, and he's like, don't worry, his lordship will be kind to you. He will not do this to you. Trust me.
I don't think we know what your master's going to do. Your one. He's going to look back at the others and just have this look of like, oh God, I don't know what to do.
Malvolo and Collodi kind of look at each other and then look at the others. Are we letting this happen? Is this is insane, right? It's not just me. We can't let this creature take Rain away.
Yeah, because Kaz is just standing there shocked and looking at my friend. Do the shades look worried that Rain is next to? Yeah, okay. Let me see what everyone else is gonna do. So I'm gonna stand shocked for a moment, and then depending what everyone else is gonna do, I'm probably gonna just fire disrupt undead at that guy, like.
No, wait. He knows who the Lordship is and where to find them. We can't destroy him either.
Perhaps you could just tell us where this lordship is, because we've got to rest up a little bit. Maybe make sure that Rain is looking her best for when we go there.
Right. She's gonna pull back on the arm a little bit. We just need to rest a little bit. You can wait here with us. I need to sit down.
Yeah, and like kind of pointing out to like the wounds on Rain, and just be like, wanna make a good impression and put your best foot forward and all.
Right, for his lordship. We wouldn't
Oh,
want
yes.
any damaged goods.
No, never. No, not for his lordship. No, that is no. You are right. You sit here, and relax. I will go get us food. Don't worry. And he kind of scurries. He collapses to all fours onto the floor and scurries towards the door going upstairs. And he's like, "You wait here. I'll be right back. And then I will bring you food and you will eat. And then you will see his lordship and everyone will be happy." And then he kind of climbs the walls and his head rotates. And then now he is looking at you upside down, but his head is right side up. And then he spreads a wicked smile across his face. "I will go get you food. I will feed you." And then he starts to head upstairs.
I'm just in my shock. I'm gonna hold Soralia's hand, just like her shade hand, like these people don't know what they're playing with. I'm just like.
Needless to say, no one's eating whatever that thing is bringing back, correct?
No.
I don't know what to do. Rain just collapses in the chair. I won't go and see him. I don't even know what it is. I don't know why I've been chosen for this. And he shouldn't be like that.
Nexon's gonna try and stabilize either Gortos or Gurnak.
Oh, I was going to ask about that. Isn't Gurnak inside Kalodi?
I thought you guys left him outside.
No. He's inside me, and I'm wearing his clothes.
Oh, we went. Oh, okay. Oh, I apologize. The other brother is alive, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The other one on the floor, the bulkier one, is on the floor. That is on the floor, bleeding out, and so is Habe in the corner.
You know, the player in me is sitting there going, "Man, I kind of want to let the brother die so I can tell the other brother, and that way he comes and joins us on a quest for vengeance." That's just the bastard in me, but...
That is horribly manipulative.
It is!
Go for it, but...
It is horrible, but it's like, but, no. Malvola, however, is well, see, the thing is I'm not a doctor. I have no Hippocratic oath. The thing is I know how to pull things apart, so I've learned how medicine works to a degree, right? So I'm going to do this in the truest and most random kind of way. I'm just going to flip a goddamn coin, and decide what I'm going to do, because heads, I'm going to heal, what's his name? Habe. Tails, I'm going to heal the brother. And if by some miracle it lands in the middle, I'll heal them both simultaneously, because I can actually do that. I just don't want to. Fine, I heal the brother first. No, sorry, yeah, I'll heal the brother first.
Fine.
Yeah, just people keep dying wherever we go, so maybe having some survivors that can be like, it wasn't us that killed him. might be beneficial.
I am the
And
doctor.
then, you know,
Give me your
hold
white
this
coat.
guy
I take Habe's white coat and I put it on as I get a nat 20 to heal the brother.
Nice.
Quit undressing people and taking their clothes.
Look,
Yeah, really.
not all of us can run a fruit store, okay? Do you want to buy a wooden scrimshaw? No? Because usually when people buy them, they buy one, okay? People need food every day. Some of us don't have the luxury of daily income. I'll then go and medicine check the other dude, the Habe, if he's
Habe?
still alive.
Habe is. One moment. I have to see if he will survive. I mean,
He
roll
will
his bleed out.
survive.
A 1. Yeah, he's still alive.
All right. I love how I guess he's alive. All right, I'll heal. I'll medicine him too. 23.
Okay. Marvolo has, fully stabilized everyone at this point. So Habe and Gernok have been stabilized. They're no longer dying. So Marvolo is over here just kind of patching them up. Rain, you're sitting down. Nexon brings up a good point. Should be less dead people. And
Now there's none.
yeah, because now there's none. Cassandra, again, you see the spirits and they look worried. And then all of a sudden, a new spirit appears.
Did you just kill someone?
Yeah, oh yeah, the guy you guys let go upstairs is murdering people to feed Rain.
Oh.
Okay,
I don't know
I
this.
am. As I see it, I'm gonna look to Soralia because
Huh?
you know I don't know if I would have put this together, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna point to the new one
Yeah.
and say, where did they come from? And I'm gonna check like it doesn't look like Gornak or
No, it
Oh.
doesn't look like them. Yeah, those are blatantly like you would know if it was Gornak of them. There's the
Yeah.
horns and everything. As you look, Sorelia looks at you and she frowns, and then all the spirits kind of raise their hand at the same time and they wipe their foreheads, and the symbol of the 7-pointed star appears on all their foreheads. And she looks
only Cassandra can see those though.
only Cassandra. The spirit looks saddened and ashamed of who they are at this point. Kind of like they should have done more, maybe fought harder, but they were sacrificed. Yeah, you can now hear again that now there's a step thud coming down the stairs.
and then I'm
Oh, go ahead.
sorry. At that point, I think when I hear a thud, and I'm like,
Mhm.
that sounds like a body, and then I'm gonna say, I forgot ghouls eat people. The food. He's murdered somebody upstairs, and I'm gonna start running up the stairs.
I'm gonna grab Cassandra before as she's running. No, wait! He's murdering people upstairs. He's gonna murder us. He's
I'm
after
like,
Rain, not us.
I'm gonna shout back at you. He is murdering people upstairs. Like we're saying the same thing.
We can't rush in recklessly. We have to come up with a plan. He's the only person who knows who the killer is. I know he's a killer, but he knows the lordship.
Maybe we can trap him in a room.
Of course, the cells. We'll force him into a cell.
He's not
Rain.
gonna talk. I don't even know what information he has.
I mean, he seems to know where the lordship is. So
At this point, Malvola will kick Collodi will kick Malvolo off Cassandra. Yeah, you sit here and you try and figure out exactly what to do. Let's go, Cass, quick.
Wait, he just might be amicable because he thinks we're on his side.
If Cass goes, I'll follow Cass.
I'm gonna turn around. There's not another new spirit that appeared.
No, not yet.
I'm gonna say there is a room. This room is filled with 20-ish shades of people they have murdered. I'm sure Habes can tell us, or we can figure it out, but we cannot let this continue any longer here. And then I'm gonna turn to Rain and I'm gonna say, for someone who looked down on me for a moment in our previous trip, you would let him continue living like that to further our own ends. And I'm going to be like, you should be ashamed. All of you should be ashamed. And I'm going to run up the stairs. Because fuck it.
And Collodi's like right behind.
Sorry if we do need him to find out more. I'm so sorry. As Carla, as Kaz, no.
No, I like it.
It's great.
Malvolo's like sitting on the floor. His chest hurts from where Collodi kicked him, but that's not the part of him that hurts the most. 'Tis hard.
Nexon, what are you doing? Are you following Cassandra? Or are you gonna kind of?
Nexon's probably gonna look at like whoever's still in the room and be like, is there a risk that they're gonna turn into ghouls? Maybe we should lock them somewhere before we run after more. Pointing to the to Habes and Grayson.
Yes, I'll take care of this. We need to help Cass and Rain. It'll be some time before I can be of any use to you. I'll make my way up once they're secured.
All right, and then Nexon will head up the stairs.
I.e., it's gonna be 10 minutes before I can use my medicine to heal anyone, so I'm just gonna drag bodies.
Yeah. So Cassandra, as you reach the top of the stairs and you enter into this large central room, you notice that there is now and then followed tightly by Collodi, you see Grayest is standing over the body of a patient, what was once a halfling, their throat cut open and the blood just pouring out over the floor. And Grayest looks up and says, "Oh, don't worry, I take care of all of this. I dress the dinner. Don't worry, we will have delicious dinner. It will still be warm. I don't want to feed his lordship's friend anything bad."
Yeah, I've got nothing for him. I'm just gonna, and like with actual tears in my eyes, I'm gonna say, "I'm so sorry this happened to all of you," and I'm gonna cast Disrupt Undead.
Oh. All right, do it up.
Okay. Sorry, just finding it. Actions. Okay, Disrupt Undead. And let me. Ungraced.
Mm-hmm. You failed.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
And if it is an action, I can cast it 3 times, and I'm just gonna keep casting, like
keep burning it.
when you just be like, like it's not right. And I apologize for the ghouls noises in the background.
Like
It's
Grace
okay.
struggling there.
Critically failed that one.
Sorry.
Adorable.
And then one last time, because why are you making this so hard?
Just die.
Die.
There you go.
But in
All right.
like the kindest way.
Kalodi will do the same. Well, not cast Disrupt Undead because I can't.
Oh.
But we'll charge blades drawn and attempt to just sort of cut swathes into this ghoul.
Nice.
That's a hit. 13 damage.
Yeah, this creature is still standing, shaken and confused as to what is happening.
Did I have time enough to approach so I can get a second attack?
Yes.
Sweet. I will do just that. Second attack. Oof, no. Nope.
Just Kalodi, as Kalodi spins to turn, the blood kind of gets under his heel and like knocks him a little off centered and misses Grayest. Grayest, at this point, Nexon, you kind of get to the top of the stairs. You look into the room and you could see Kalodi and Cassandra just raining hell down on this person. What would you like to do, Nexon?
Next, just gonna check, like, start going around and checking the doors to see if they're locked, and like if there's a peephole, like looking in to see if people look alive or dead.
Sure. So the first room you kind of run to, right behind Cassandra, you see it's already open. That must have been the cell that this person was dragged from. And it's currently open. So, that one's empty, and you could, if you needed, you could use that as the like a holding cell if you wanted it. Would you like to cast a spell, or is that cool? You're like,
yeah, she's just gonna kind of go door to door
and start checking
to assess,
the other doors.
Yeah, are there any other ghouls in here, or undead, or just normal
Yeah.
people?
As you walk to the other rooms, you can see that you're like looking. You're able to kind of just open and look in, and you'll notice that there are people inside, and they're all asleep, which is weird. But remember, Habe said he had put them to sleep. They were resting, but they're breathing. You can hear breathing, so no one's dead.
All right, I'll close the doors back behind me.
Okay, and now Grayest will swing back at Kalodi as Kalodi is assaulting Grayest. Grayest, kind of confused as to what's going on, will swing on Kalodi and sadly miss. And then it's gonna look at what's happening and says, "You're all liars. Why would I believe anyone?" And then swing again on Kalodi because he is upset and still miss. And he's going to kind of try and step back. He's going to take a step. And that's the end of their turn. Rain, what would you like to do?
Rain is going to make her way up the stairs, and she is just trembling.
Yeah.
And she's going to yell out to Grace, Don't hurt my companions. I will go with you if you don't hurt them. And I want you to take me. I will go with you to meet his lordship. Just wait for me outside and let me say my goodbyes.
Gray is looking around and looking at Cassandra and Collodi, and looking at you and Grace, struggling to keep their sanity, seeing this turns and is like, no, you said I had to feed, and then they came and attacked me. No.
Just get out, and I will follow you outside.
And he shakes his head, and at this point, kind of allows the madness to consume him, and the normal eyes that you saw, the human eyes, right, the eyes that of a human, kind of now turn that green color of the ghoul that you've seen before, that eldritch glowing green, and the madness kind of takes over, and he drops to all fours, snarls, and there is no more talking for him at this point. The madness of the ghoul has taken over. If that's the end of your turn.
I can see this transformation, right? And I can tell that he can't be reasoned with anymore.
Yeah, he allowed the madness to kind of consume them.
I'd like to use my Titan move again and then just run across and try to grapple him.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. So you charge, you kind of step around the poor body of the person, and you smash into them and roll athletics check. This shouldn't be too difficult.
Unless I roll
I lied to myself.
Wait, I have a hero point.
Yes.
He's also enfeebled, actually.
Oh, is he enfeebled?
Because he
Oh,
had
that's
critical
right.
failure against me. He's also enfeebled.
I apologize. Let me put that on. There you go. I'm
using my hero point because that too is getting me nowhere even.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit better. 30-20.
Yeah, 30-20 is exactly what you needed. So you smash into him, pounding him into the wall, grappling.
She's just crying. She just holds on to him and lifts him up like, I'm sorry. And that'll be her turn.
And we are at the top of the round again. Cassandra, what would you like to do?
Disrupt.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those, those things like when someone tells you like they're already, it's already finished, and you're just like disrupt.
Yeah. Oh, you failed again. Okay. He's still kicking, and now he's biting and trying to bite into Rain.
Yeah. Is it normal turns?
Yeah, that's it. Roll your damage.
Then I can do it one more time.
That's it. Great. And then the body goes limp. And with that, the body stops kicking. Rain, as you hold them down with tears in your eyes, Grace stops limp as you see the last bit of energy from Cassandra slam into them.
She's just going to collapse on the floor and just bring her knees up. Grace just in between, just holding him in a body, and she just cries over him. Unconsolable. Collapse there.
At that point, Cassandra, you now see another spirit enter the room, and it would be what Grace would look like as a human before his transformation. And he's looking down at Rain and at himself, and he goes to speak, and that's where we'll end it for today.
I'd like to take a moment to point out that is the perfect place to stop, because if there's any exposition that's coming, guarantee we'd forget it by next week.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down.
Look at you. Oh, what? Hey. I'm the bad student. I'm the one who sits at the back of the classroom writing on my desk. I'm the only one. Damn it. Fine. Because then
Shame.
everyone's got new. Yeah. Well, I don't need to write notes. I just need to know the noise it makes when I land a natural 20.
There you go. I do want to say thank you to everyone, and of course I want to thank Hero Forge for sponsoring us, allowing us to use these really cool minis, which we've gotten like really good at making. If you spend some time, you could do some crazy things like little spider person. That's a Hero Forge mini. It's really cool. And of course you have Twilo over there sitting next to Rain. I appreciate that. Of course, I want to thank all my players. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to throw it over to them so that you can hear when they're not being creeped out and forced into emotional baggage stuff here with me. You can find them when they're having real fun and not being harassed by my ghouls and my zombies. So I'm going to throw it over my zombies. And I'm going to throw it over to the one and the only, the wonderful Dawn. How you doing, Dawn? Thank you very much.
Hey, good. Yeah. Yeah, you can, when I'm not here playing this fun game, you can find me over at youtube.com/roll4initiative, where I make videos with my partner Ryan about tabletop RPGs and our other geeky interests. And you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at R4iVlog. And hey, I do videos sometimes about note-taking stuff. So
Hey all, I'm Becca Godsey. I'm still kind of reeling from that little moment, so give me a second. You can find me at Becca Godsey on Twitter and on Instagram, and X Caustic Phoenix here on Twitch. We'll be on later today playing some Destiny 2, trying to shoot and get rid of our feelings this way. Yes, that's healthy.
I'm Colin. You can find me at DumDumDie, spelled DumDumDie, every Tuesday on Twitch and every Wednesday on our podcast where we play a homebrew adventure.
And I'm Michael. This is my place, this is my face, and I run a whole bunch of Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and other role-playing games here in this space. Thank you to everyone who follows this channel, because honestly, if anything can be said about my channel, it is a place where a great number of incredibly talented role-players, performers, and entertainers gather to just have a good time and have a lot of fun. Like seriously, like I had so many moments today where I was just like trying to sort out my feelings, and like aren't I playing like a guy with this like jerkwad New Yorker puppet? Like, when did this become so real, right? Like, when did this become like, talking to the dead spirits and symbols of woe? I'm like, where's the kicking? And I needed to have that wrestling moment to like sort out my feelings, because it was such a good one today, and that is of course in no small part to the wonderful and the amazing GM Jared.
Thank you very much. And I am your host for today when it's not Michael, and I am GM Jared. You could find me at nvngpodcast.com, where you could listen to my podcast where my players, not these amazing players, my New York players, and we play through multiple different things. Also, you can find me here on Twitch every Wednesday at NVNG. Sometimes I play Valheim, and that game is fun. You should join me. But of course, I want to say thank you to everyone today. This was fun. I know we went a little bit over time, but it's okay because we were all having fun. And I'm going to throw it back to Michael to take us home. Michael.
Absolutely. All right. So as always, guys, we are going to go and raid someone from a lovely channel. We haven't actually seen these guys for quite some time, so we're going to go raid our friends over at Praetor's Rejects. Now, I had the absolute pleasure of meeting these guys when I was in America for Gen Con 2019, so do be sure to give them all the love, all the support, all the follows, because that's how we work. We share love, we share all of these things. Now, another special announcement. Sadly, we will not be here next week for Rise of the Runelords, as next week is GaryCon, and there is a big virtual convention that is happening online. We have lots of people in both the audience and the cast who are going to be in attendance of this wonderful and amazing convention, including myself, who will be featuring on the Loch Geneva Twitch stream, along with a whole bunch of other Australians playing a bunch of Aussie things. I think pretty much at Rise of the Runelords time, we will be doing a panel discussing how role-playing games have shaped and changed the world. So that's a very, very cool and interesting topic, especially from the group that we've got going. So be sure to tune in for that. Guys, stick around and, of course, earn those big dag dollary dues with the raid. Until next time, as always, game hard or die trying. Good night, everyone.